Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. I hope everyone is having a fine Woo Woo Wednesday. This Wednesday, though, with the holiday yesterday, at least where I'm at, it just really feels like, I don't know. You guys know when you have a holiday and then there's like the day either before or after the holiday, it kind of just feels very nebulous, like it doesn't exist in the week, but it's still a day that you're living, but it doesn't really exist in like a week. I don't know. That's kind of how I've been feeling today. Even though it is Wednesday, middle of the week, yesterday with the holiday, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Anyone else feel that way ever? But yeah, I've been just extremely tired today. I didn't stay up like crazy late last night, but let's see, I probably went to bed around midnight, probably. I don't know, somewhere in there. And I don't know. It's funny because I was telling my husband, I'm like, maybe I'm just one of those guys that now that I'm older, I'm like, I just can't relate with these kids these days. And just the whole fireworks thing and loud booms and just it was very overwhelming and probably the most and I wasn't really near anyone really lighting anything off. And the kids had their little sparklers and that kind of thing, but like my in-laws, one of their dogs, he's really terrified of fireworks. So we never really buy fireworks, and if we do, it's just like little kitty fireworks for the kids, and that's it. And I think 2 years ago was the first time we even did that because my kids started asking about it and like, okay, we can do a little bit. But this year we just did the handful of sparklers. I think there was probably a handful. There was probably close to 40 sparklers, and they just lit them one after one after one. Well, my husband lit them, and then the kids were playing with them. And that's all they had, and they were fine with it. A bunch of the other neighbors had little things going off, but by the time that the town that we were in did like their city fireworks, and they really lasted, I want to say 7 minutes, by the time they did all that and you hear all the booms here and there from other people, I was just like highly anxious, highly stressed out. I'm like, and I had to drive my car home and my husband had to drive his car home because we had to leave my car out at my in-laws because I had to work earlier. Was it Saturday or Sunday? I think it was Saturday. But we were going out there for dinner because my brother-in-law's in town. So I left my car out there because I had a huge migraine and it's really unsafe for me to drive when I get a migraine because sometimes I get like this, like almost like I'm looking through two straws kind of vision, and it's just not safe. So I left my car out there. So last night I had to drive my car home from Saturday, and I was just like, no, it was Sunday. Not that you care, not that it's pertinent to the story, but I'm just like, I want to get home. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. And then all day today, I've just been like, I don't know, kind of in and out of existence, it feels like. But there was a heavy energy, and you guys, maybe you had a really great and uplifting fourth, that's cool. But I just felt this very heavy energy, and even just questioning, like, why is it? And again, no offense to anybody who likes fireworks. I used to do all that stuff too, and more like when I was a kid, I would watch more people than I would actually ever. I've never really bought fireworks for myself, but I'm like, why do we blow things up to celebrate our freedom? And then freedom, we're celebrating something we don't actually have, sovereignty. I don't know. I just had some thought, and we probably won't go too deep into that tonight, but I don't know. And I just felt this, I don't know, sense of like, the word that kept coming to me as I'm driving through, I had to drive through a couple towns to get back to my town for my in-laws, was like energy harvest. And I see all these people, especially in the town that we had to pass through to get between my in-laws' town and my town. They have this huge like shopping center with it's like an annual thing. Everybody shows up and lights their fireworks, and there were probably, I don't know, 500-600 people there if I had to guess, maybe more. And it was all, after 11 driving through that town, and I was just like, I don't know, I just feel sadness. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. Oh yeah, Jamie's feeling the heavy. Yeah, I'm feeling it. And it doesn't feel like mine. It doesn't feel like anything I need to be sad about or reflecting on about my own life. It just feels like, humanity at large or life in general. I don't know. But to me, it felt like, it's like every time, like I kept seeing in my mind's eye, like a lighter flicking to light something. And then as the energy leaves that firework or whatever it was, it's like the energy's being like put into a jar, and I just saw this jar like full of fireflies. Is kind of how like I saw it was I'm driving through town. About energy harvest, and people of course are celebrating, and they probably have good intentions or really no intentions. If they're lighting, they're just wanting to have fun and enjoy, which is fine. But the dark forces around the block, they like to do what they do and hijack everything. So I don't know. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I feel sad for all of us, for humanity, and I can't really quite put my finger on why, but yeah. So that's where I was at today. I mean, it was a decent day, but yeah, I had a lot of trouble just focusing on the things I needed to do today, and my kids are home today, and just getting caught up with things that I've kind of slacked on the past few weeks, with getting laundry done and, just things cluttered and put away. And I'm just like, oh, I just need to crawl out of this kind of, I don't know, weird place. I don't know. And again, it doesn't feel like it's my stuff. But let's do some shout outs for who's here. I've spent the first 6 minutes just gabbing. So we got Rimmel Cameron is here. Jessica Lynn, Michelle Lynn Squad in the house. Kirsten is here. Jamie Wilson and KK. Hello. Yes, we care. Aw. Yeah, today has been such a heavy feeling. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling better. I want to say probably since about 2 o'clock, which had been about 4 hours ago my time. I feel a lot better. But because I had already scheduled this and everything, I was going to do a free 1-card read like I do. And then as I'm coming in here and getting all prepared with my decks and choosing what I'm going to do, I'm like, oh, let's do another fun, like mini kind of reading, 2-card reading from 2 different decks. So the Sacred Creators deck, yeah, that's what this one's called. And also the Line Strider Tarot. I just thought they look cool together, and that's really my only reason for selecting these 2. So that's what we're going with. So we're going to, when I give you the secret password or number, we're going to go down the line, and the first card will be just the current energy you're in, and the second card from the Sacred Creators will be just advice for your current situation, whatever that looks like. Hello, Linda! So yeah, it's kind of a 2-part mini little condensed kind of rapid fire reading. I'm going to try not to elaborate too much because that's what the paid and donation readings are for. And speaking of thus far, as far as I last checked, my phone's plugged in because I left my my charging cable in my purse downstairs, and I didn't want to go get it last night. So I didn't charge my phone at all last night after the 4th of July. And then most of the day I was reading not most of the day, but like here and there throughout the day, I was reading my Kindle, ebook. There we go. That's the right word. So I didn't really charge my phone. I'd set it down here and there, and then I'd like, damn, I should charge it. But I didn't. So now it's charging. We do have our first donation actually. So I just saw that come in. Let me look over here who that was. It's not popping up on my phone, but it is in my email. So we will just rely on the trusty email over here. So Kirsten has sent for 2 full reads, or 4 1-card reads, or however you want to break that up, just let me know. And of course, when we get into our donation readings, you will be first on the chopping block, as I like to say. But yes, I hope you are all doing well. And 2 full readings for Kirsten. Awesome. So we will just get you on the list right now then. How's that sound? Donation list, Kirsten. Right. So yeah, as I'm saying, kind of a low vibe, not like low vibe, but just kind of humdrum kind of vibe day. But I'm feeling much better as of, again, about 4 hours ago. So yay! I was kind of concerned, like, man, I'm going to be like a downer on tonight's live stream, and I don't want to show up like that. And because there's really nothing personally going on that I can point to. It's just, I don't know, the energy of humanity. I don't know. I think we all need a little pick-me-up or something. Aw, heart chakra's blocked. Yeah, that happens. It's pretty much us just spinning plates 24/7 to keep those energies completely aligned, and that's such a faulty design. So that tells me right there that any original divine creator did not create whatever chakra system we got going on here. That is not a divine creation. That might be a hijacked copy of an original creation, and then a further fractaling or fracturing of our energy, rather than having it more centrally located in 1 to 3, channels or ports. It's like hundreds. Yeah, you feel weird all day yesterday. I had kind of anxiety yesterday too, just mostly because, as an empath, I pick up on, the dog, my dog, Arthur, was out there, and good news, since doing his, what do you call them? Sessions with Roots Restored Wellness, we did the Heart Walls and Trapped Emotions session. That's one session combined. And then the, Trauma and Abuses session, and then the Heart Walls and Trapped Emotion session. Those were the 2 that I did, and I leveled both of those up. And since then, he doesn't have that high reactivity to dogs. And it was a problem, you guys. It was a problem. He couldn't even look out the window and see a dog without, tunnel vision. I need to get to that dog and destroy it. I doubt, though, if he maybe somehow got to a dog, he would destroy it. But, in his mind, he was just like, I gotta get there. I thought he was going to attack this amazingly friendly little black lab at the baseball games about a month ago. I'm like, lady, I really love your dog and everything, but I think my dog's going to try to attack your dog. But we don't have that issue anymore at all. And he's hanging out just fine with Pappy and Remy are my in-laws' dogs. And he loves them, but he loves Remy a little too much and wants to play. And Remy's like, I'm fine to play, but you're maybe a little rough, Arthur. So we're going to now work on that a little bit. But yeah, I was picking up the anxiety, especially of Pappy. He just is so scared of fireworks. And, if my mother-in-law was into energy healing, I'd probably turn her onto that, because you do need the owner's permission to, get a session for a dog or a child or whatever. Owner of a property, whatever it is. And I don't know that she'd be into it, so I'm not even going to suggest it for her, but I will work as much as I feel I can within the parameters of, my connection to him to maybe help him a little bit. But yeah, right. Yeah, remembering now, I felt weird yesterday, had a lot of anxiety and stomach troubles for whatever reason. Yeah, I've had this weird sharp pain in my right side, maybe around or similar location to where your appendix would be, and maybe kind of the ovary, but it feels more toward the back a little bit. I don't know if I'm even explaining that correctly, but it's just once in a while, it's like a constriction and a tightening and then a sharp pain, and then it releases. And then I don't even think about it for a while, and then it comes back. And I'm just like, what is this? So, right side is the masculine side per this inverted matrix. It's the original feminine side. Which is weird because, I would get, when I would connect with certain spirit guides and stuff back in the day, a lot of feminine energies would connect on my right and the masculines on my left. I was already inverted. But, inverted in an upside down inverted society is probably the best thing you could be, right? So yeah, to me, this has always felt like my more feminine side. I don't know, but it's the, as per the human system and all that, the masculine side. But I'm taking it as maybe a balancing. I don't know. Yeah, lots of anxiety. Yeah, Jamie's agreeing with Kirsten. A lot of anxiety and stomach troubles for whatever reason. All right. Yeah, once again, I'm just hanging out, having fun, talking, gabbing. Let's get into our 2-card little mini readings here. So, again, this is going to be your current energy or just kind of what's to come, past 2 weeks, present to the next 2 weeks, and then this will be your advice with this energy, okay? And it's most likely going to be different for each of you, because we got 78 tarot cards and I think 44 in this deck as well. So the possibilities are maybe not endless, but very, very close to endless here. So if we get a lot of similar messages, we know these are some majorly collective energies, and a lot of what is coming up, yes, it may not feel like it's ours, personally ours, like what I was saying earlier about, just this collective sadness and heaviness. But yet at the same time, there is this very deep part of me, maybe past life energy, maybe ancestor energy, that feels actually very invested or wrapped into whatever this is. And that's why it's finding me now, either past life, ancestral, or both, wrapped up in a big old karma bow for me to deal with now, energetically speaking and emotionally speaking, right? So yeah, let's maybe just tune into whatever we need to know, each of us here, I put an 888 in the chat. I don't know why I just saw 8 people. I'm like, let's do it. Eight people. 888. Let's do it. And we're going to do not one, but two card reading. Okay, so again, I see Michelle Lynn first. She beat everyone to the punch. Look at her go. This is going to be the current energy, or, past 2 weeks, present to future 2 weeks. And then the advice for the energy, or whatever message we get with the tarot. So we're going to start with the tarot. Unless I feel inclined, like sometimes happens, to do it in reverse. We just never know. We just never know. All right, Michelle Lynn, we're starting with you, my dear. And we have some others. Hello, Brianna. Hello, Amber A. I didn't see you guys earlier. So hello, my friends. All right. Ooh. Michelle Lynn. 5 of Pentacles. Feeling left out in the cold is usually the main theme of this card. But it's interesting. It almost, and I could be completely off my rocker or wrong about this, but I'm reading these things around here like crutches. Like, someone has crutches up under their arms to get around. But to me, this is actually, I'm seeing this as a good message. If you have had some like unexplainable soreness or something like that, I'm seeing this as a purge, just with this kind of collective weird energy that we're currently in. There's this purge of your energetic field that's coming up. And you might even feel it physically. If you're having random back pains or, sharp pains in my side like I was feeling, just whatever it is. It doesn't have to be, with the body here. It could be your head. It could be your feet. It could be whatever. So let's see this kind of left out in the cold energy, feeling left out, just wanting to find home, wanting to find that sanctuary. And there is a name for that. I think it's called like high wraith or something like that. It's like this homesickness for a place called home that you've never been. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with this. What else? And we have the sacred flow of yes. And really, this is, the energy of, you feeling like, I would like to say yes, but I got this going on, or I got that bill to pay, or, this is too much, or whatever it is, feeling left out because you don't have enough, or you don't have what you need to be able to say yes. There's a shift coming to this energy for you, Michelle. Yay! All right. So up next, we got Rimmel Cameron. Get Rimmel's cards. Okay, so the first card we have is the 2 of Swords. So you, past 2 weeks, now and in the next 2 weeks, anytime along that timeline, you might be feeling like confused or know you need to make a choice on something, but you're really unsure of what choice to make or where to go from here or what you should do. You're going to be figuring it out. And let's get the advice in how Rimmel is figuring this out. Your soul shines. So you're getting the answers from within. Of course, they can be reflected from without, meaning someone's conversation in the line at the grocery store, or you're watching a TV show and someone is, going through something very similar. And, or even if it's something completely different, you're really resonating with that and you're getting your answer. It can look like you getting it in an external way, but it's really ding, ding, dinging on the inside. And that's going to be what kind of, amplifies or triggers for you the answer and the clarity that you may be seeking. Sorry, it was very bright out there earlier, so I had to kind of close the blinds. Yes, okay. So I hope that resonated. Amber A, let's get your card. Amber A. We have Temperance, so this is just about finding balance. I'm seeing this really as balance, like between spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, finding all balance you can, but also really relying on your inner self. I used to always call this my spirit guide card, but since I've kind of stepped back from that whole line of thinking personally, if you still register, the whole spirit guide thing, that's cool. You can do that. But this to me really does feel like that inner guidance and really relying on that inner guidance above, even just other people's opinions or your mind telling you, oh, I can do that, or I can't do that, whatever it is, really relying on that inner guidance. All right. So that's like 2 messages already coming out about inner guidance for you guys. What else? Advice for Amber A. Oh, we have fearless expression. So especially if you are, kind of going back and forth, like, what do I do? How do I do it? You are finding the right way to do it. And it is going to be like kind of a, what the heck, let's just try it out kind of thing. So I'm really seeing this more as future energy rather than past energy for you personally, Amber, to be able to tune into, be able to say and speak your mind, speak your truth from that inner guidance standpoint. And people will actually really be well receiving of whatever it is you're saying or trying to do, or if you're creating something, trying to express yourself in that way, it's going to really shine brightly. All right, Jessica Lynn, let's get you a card. Well, 2 cards actually. So current energy for Jessica Lynn, or just what she needs to know. Ooh, the Devil. So if you've been in your head, it's okay. The one good thing about the Devil card that I will always shine the praises of the Devil card is there's a lot of creativity in the Devil card. There's a lot of, divine masculine, divine feminine energy that usually feels bound or reversed or unequal in some way. And it's about restoring the equilibrium. And it's very interesting. The card we got for Amber right before you, Jessica Lynn, was Temperance, which is a very balanced, divine feminine, divine masculine energy, and of course also the Lovers in the tarot as well. But with this Devil card, I'm really reading into the, of course, possibly the temptation of, if you've been trying to shift things, of your perspective, your mindset, shifting out of bad habits or toxicity. It might be difficult. There is that temptation there. But I'm also seeing this is a very creative time for you. So let's get the word of advice with this Devil card for Jessica Lynn. And we have here raw intention. So it's going to be very paramount and very important for you when you're doing anything, especially if you're trying to level yourself up or better yourself in any way, that you put really strong intentions around what you're trying to create or why you're doing something. And also with this combination, I'm seeing the need for boundaries, especially if someone's like, oh, it'll only take 5 minutes. Come help me out real quick. And you kind of want to say no. Just say no. Don't be afraid to say no to somebody in your life that might be trying to pressure you into doing something you don't want to do. Or, it's a friend that always asks you to lunch and then you always end up paying and they never pay. So it's kind of like, I don't want to do that. Say no. If there's something like that, say no. But if it's about you and setting very clear boundaries for yourself and your creativity, then say yes. So it's kind of a double-edged sword message, but I love it. All right, Kirsten, let's get your messages. Woo! She flipped, she flew, she flies. Okay, we have the Strength card for you, Kirsten. Yet another card about that inner voice, that inner guidance coming to the forefront to help you, especially if you are really struggling mentally. I'm seeing at this time, this is going to really bring some clarity. There's a major theme of clarity coming in through these messages for you guys. So any confusion, any decisions you're needing to make, you're getting some very much good clarity coming in over these next 2 weeks for all of you watching. But for you, especially right now, Kirsten, this is definitely coming in. And look, raw intention yet again. So it's about setting those boundaries. It's about when you are doing something, don't just go through the motions of doing something. Actually, like even just cooking a meal, know and just put your own magic into it, especially with the strength. Use your inner gifts, that wisdom that comes from beyond this, energy here in this 3D matrix, to really make something beautiful. And that number 22, it didn't stand out to me for the previous message when we got this card, but it is really standing out to me now. So that number might be following you around, or you might start seeing that. And that'll let you know you're on the right path with something. So make sure you have very clear intentions about what you want to do. Even if you're not sure what you want to do, set those intentions to your inner self that, hey, I'm ready to reveal the next step, and it will start to reveal itself. All right, Jamie, let's get you a card. Jamie, current energy or just what she needs to know. Ooh, 7 of Swords, feeling lied to, cheated on, stolen from in some way. This feels more mental, like rather than something that's actually happening. It's more the way you are processing or interpreting something that's going on, somebody's intention, somebody out to get you or something like that. It's more you taking someone saying, and really I'm seeing this as like Mickey's energy of, him saying something kind of offhand and it not even meaning anything to him. He's just kind of joking around, but he's maybe says it in such a tone that you kind of are like, what did he mean by that? Something like this. If it hasn't already happened, it might happen, but just being aware of something like that can really save you a lot of mental gymnastics and just, very almost 8 of Swords energy. It's like almost morphing the 7 of Swords into the 8 of Swords of just feeling that bondage of, trapped to your own belief systems or lack. But let's get the advice with this for Jamie. Feed your artist. So escape, I should say, into your art. That could help. Or if you're needing to process something, this could even be past energy and just kind of resentment energy of, the current housing and living situation. channel that into your art, because we have the number 28 there, which, you know, adds up to 10, adds up to 1, new beginning energy of being able to create something really beautiful. And really going back to that 1, I'm being directed to the zodiac again. And of course, the number 1 zodiac is Aries. So between now and Aries season, there's a major level up to you being able to use your maybe frustration and channel that into your art. Love it. All right. Up next, we have Brianna. And if anyone else is just now joining us, look at this. We have an 888. Put an 888 in the chat, and we will take care of you. And I have jumped chat. Okay, we are at... I am doing good. I am doing good, Amber. Thank you. Brianna, 888 for Brianna. Ooh, we have here. So this is like current energy or just anything you need to know. We have judgment. So there's a lot of spiritual just up-leveling or just realizations coming to the forefront here. And, you know, the word judgment itself, when the card comes out, sometimes people can think about, you know, judging others or others judging you. I really see this as kind of a neutralization of anything you've judged yourself or others on. You're just kind of letting it go. It's just kind of old news. You're ready to do the next thing, whatever that looks like for you personally. And also your own just spiritual connection, gifts, all of that is kind of under this metamorphosis, or at the very least, kind of at the start of something new. Your advice is you the muse. And I love this combination, because this is all about creativity or finding very, very creative solutions to, you know, your business stuff, finding new ways to show up in people's algorithms, or, you know, ways to market your business, or, you know, just your branding or something. You're figuring some things out, and you are the catalyst behind whatever it is that you are trying to birth into this creation, or into this reality from your creation center. This is so powerful. So don't sleep on the job. If you're getting some really good downloads, but you're just busy and you're unsure of when you can implement anything, just write the idea down, solidify it in the material world, and that will at least, you know, let the universe know you're serious, at least at some point, to get back to that idea, if that's the case. So if you're getting downloads in your dreams and your daydreams, just driving around town, make sure you're writing them down. All right. You're so welcome, everybody. Yeah, hi, Wraith, or something like that. I'm not even sure, Linda, if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's like that homesickness for a place called home that you're not even sure where that is. Got an error message, so typing 888 again. Oh no, Linda, let's get your cards, my dear. Let's get Linda's cards. Okay, Linda's message. Yeah, I didn't see your numbers before, so I'm glad you put another one in. Okay, Linda, so we got justice. There's some balance coming in. I hope, did you already go on your little trip for the 4th? I think it was for the 4th, wasn't it? Or, you know, your family thing, your lake thing. I hope you had a good time if that's the case. But there's some balance coming back in. And this to me feels more energetic than like some kind of court case or like fight against other people, you know, like I don't know, like a back and forth with somebody. No, this feels just an equilibrium kind of thing going on. Like your energy's stabilizing in a good way. So you're not feeling so out of balance with things. Let's get the advice for Linda. It's too many, but we'll take this one. Ooh, cut the cords of doubt. So especially if you're doubting yourself or doubting just anything, your own intuition. If you really feel intuitively about something, but what someone says kind of counterbalances that intuition, or the physical evidence before your eyes seems to disprove what your intuition is telling you, please trust your intuition. Trust your intuition, because eventually and very soon you will actually see that balance of that energy, and you'll actually be able to see through any lies, manipulations, or anything outside you that is trying to steer the truth in a different direction. All right. Amber says, yes, I'm trying to have a clear and concise idea so I can express them clearly. That makes so much sense. Thank you so much for the reading and finding more balance. Yes. Finding homeostasis after so much trauma and abuse. I'm so sorry you've been through that. But yes, sometimes we have all these almost like metamorphosis, mini and bigger metamorphoses that metamorphosize, is that the plural? That we go through to really tune into just almost giving birth to this new version of ourselves. It's really cool. But really painful. The process is not easy and it's not fun. But there is a beauty to it, I think. I really do. Michelle Lynn has donated. Okay, we have a couple donations coming in. Yeah, or his dad, for sure. Hormonal. Oh wait, everything went. Okay. Thank you so much for the donation, Kyra K. I'm gonna get to your message here right in a moment. I'm just catching up on comments here. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yes, I love that you're finding that, Amber, and you're so welcome, Jessica. Awesome. You're hormonal, so that's good to hear, right? And you're about to tie dye. Look, you're tuning into this, and I almost wore my shirt. But it's more of a like t-shirt, and I'm like, it's already so hot in here. I'm gonna wear like more of a tank top tonight. But maybe Friday I'll wear my, I think it says something like adventure awaits or something about adventure. I got it. It finally came in the mail, and it's hanging in my closet, washed and put away, ready to wear. But it was just a little warm in here to put it on tonight. So we'll try that one out on Friday. Yes, Queen. Thank you. You're so welcome. All right, Pika Lee is the next one I see, and then Kyra K, we will do yours right after that. So Pika Lee, current energy, or just whatever you need to know. We have the world. Look at this. You're closing out cycles, but there might be some travel. Even if this is like mind traveling, you're daydreaming a lot, you're getting a lot of downloads. Maybe you're doing a lot of traveling, when you're, sleeping, I guess you could call it astral travel, but I would tell everybody that I know, shouting from the rooftops, not to go to the astral realm at night if you can avoid it. Just connect to your inner spirit, your true self, and that you will be much better off. You'll still have dreams and stuff, but it just won't be as tragic and crazy. So maybe if you have been having some really weird dreams that don't feel good, connecting to your true spirit, your true essence, that is the most pure and untainted by any matrix or soul contract or what have you, is going to be your very best bet. But let's get the advice or guidance for Pika Lee. Ooh, the sacred flow of yes. So saying yes to yourself. I'm really seeing this as closing out cycles where you would sacrifice or, kind of say yes to people. I'm seeing this more though of you saying yes to yourself rather than just saying yes to, working overtime, even though you'd rather go home and just, unwind. This is you really setting some boundaries, and that is such like a collective thing tonight, is about boundaries and being in the flow of your own energy, your own intention, and what is in your highest good. Very cool message. All right, Kyra K, you are next. Here we go. So let's get Kyra K's message. So this is just the current energy or just whatever you need to know right now. 2 weeks ago now and the next 2 weeks, so about a month's time frame. Okay, Six of Swords. So there's healing. Could be some travel. Although if this is travel, it seems to be very short distance, not very long distance. But if you are doing long distance travel, this is a great card to get for that. Also, anything you're doing with communicating online, there might be an uptick in communication, or even if you're making some sort of post or have some sort of platform, you might get more engagement, more traction, could go viral or something like that. Could always happen with this kind of energy. But at the heart of this card, it is about healing from those past wounds. And to me, this feels like healing of just ways you've thought about or treated yourself. It's such a self-centric, not self-centered, but self-centric energy of just doing you, boo, and doing what's best for you, and just really doing that self-love, self-care thing, especially if that's something you've kind of dropped the ball on or have never really been great at. Starting some sort of self-care routine. And of course, self-care is going to look different for every person out there. Some people might want to go get their hair and nails did. Other people would rather just go walk barefoot in nature. Self-care is completely relative. But let's get some advice. And it's already flopping right out. Let me get it. It fell to the floor. For Kyra. Okay. Ooh, the good kind. Yes. So this is like treating yourself, doing what's best and in your highest good, especially with all this healing energy you've got here. This is doing the things that make you feel good, hanging out with the people that make you feel good, just really tuning into the sense of joy that may have been missing in your life. Now is the time to enjoy yourself. And if you do have vacation time, even if you don't have anywhere planned to go, it might be fun to just take a day or two vacation just to reflect or, just tune into you and what you're currently going through energetically and where you want to go. That could really benefit any of us. Do kind of a little life review and reset. Could really benefit any of us. But Kyra, that is your message. Thank you again for that donation with the message. I love that. Thank you. Oh yeah, the 4th trip, wonderful trip. All right. Yay, Linda. She'll take some balance. Love the message. You're so welcome. Amanda, thank you for the card. Mickey Hurd is back in June for a week. So we're behind on finances at the moment. I was awesome to get a mini read. You're so welcome. I'm glad you're here. I always love hanging out with you. Yes, Kirsten, you're so welcome. Hey, anyone else that's dipping in here, go ahead and put an 888 in the chat and get yourself a free 2-card reading. Lady T, welcome. Yes, Brianna, I did yours. Oh, no. Ooh, that's right on point. Yay, Pika Lee. Awesome. Good to hear. Tanissia, let's get your 888. You're not too late for your 888. Hey, that rhymed. Okay. So this is your current energy, or just kind of the last 2 weeks, current and future 2 weeks, or just whatever it is you need to know. We're just kind of leaving the whatever needs to come through. So Tanissia, 1994. Ooh, the devil. So again, this can be a very creative energy, but it can, too much of a good thing can sometimes not be so good, right? So this is about finding balance with maybe the temptations, or, if you are having any, this is a major download coming in. If you are having any, emails or people coming to you with these things and something that just sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's the vibe I'm getting, especially last 2 weeks now and over the next 2 weeks, this, time frame. Really do a lot of research, especially if you are purchasing something, signing any kind of contract, looking to invest money, anything like that. Do major research about it. Okay, any word of advice coming in for Denissia? Too many? Regarding the message. Okay, limitations inspire innovations. Okay, and sometimes the devil can make us feel trapped, can make us feel limited in our creativity or our ability to do whatever it is, manifest, whatever life we're trying to create. So especially, it's a very eight of swords energy. So if you are limiting yourself based on, oh, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, I'll never be able to be like so-and-so, just put that notion completely out of your mind. I know it's easier said than done, but we have the 52 here. So that adds up to a 7. So one of the best things you can do is to really connect to your inner self and really feel that power. Allow that power to come even greater online, and realize, this is so cliche, but, realizing you're that limitless being having a human experience can really put this human thing into perspective and just help you get with whatever it is you're trying to do without all the limitations of your mental, belief systems and stuff. So pretty powerful message there for you. All right, Lady T, let's get you a card. All right, last call, everybody. Last call for your card. Anyone wanting to get a free 2-card reading, go ahead and put an 888 in the chat if you have not already. All right, so this is your current energy, or just anything you need to know right now, Lady T. Ooh, Knight of Swords. So there's some communication coming in, or maybe you are the one, and this can kind of go both ways, or one or the other. You might be the one that is wanting to communicate with someone, and don't be afraid to do it. Just make sure if you are, kind of coming out and like confessing your love to someone, or, dropping a bomb, like, news or something on someone, that you think about how you're going to say something rather than just blurting it out. That's the one kind of caveat I would say with this card, with this energy. But there's definitely news that you are either wanting to put out there or that's going to come to you. Let's get the word of advice about this situation here for Lady T. You're so welcome, Tanissia. Success and transformation. So especially if you are maybe, speaking your truth to someone, or setting some boundaries, or just kind of showing up. And to me, what I got this flash of someone going back for their 10 or 20-year high school reunion is kind of the energy of, you just showing up as your most authentic self can really, and not that it's about them at all, but it can really show people and yourself just how far you've come. That's kind of the energy I'm seeing with this, is you really are, even if you're not exactly where you want to be in life, you're one step closer than you were, last year or the year before or year before. You're always going to be closer. You personally, not everybody out there is getting closer to who they ultimately have the potential to be. But you, Lady T, are somebody I can see with this combination that has been diligently working, even if it's been just more on a subconscious level. Your spirit is strong enough to come through and kind of work behind the scenes or in your dream state to make things happen to help you level up. But if you are someone who is very conscious about leveling up, or just being the greatest, most authentic version of yourself that you can be, really tapping into your ultimate potential, then you're on the right track. especially these next 2 weeks. You have a lot of power to really make some headway there. All right, Farida, welcome from the UK there. Hello. Woo. So there might be some chaotic energy. We got a whole bunch of cards flopping right out. I'm going to make sure I'm going to get them all picked up real quick. But the main one that came out was the Two of Cups. So you might be, Farida, you might be kind of upside down or inside out with someone who you have romantic feelings for. If this isn't romantic feelings, this could be someone who's just very close, near and dear to you, kind of soulmate energy. And soulmates don't always have to be romantic. So if the romantic message, yeah, I don't have any on the floor. Okay, good. If the romantic message doesn't resonate, that's okay. But let's just, I want to get one more tarot card. So you get more than anyone else. You get another one and then still the advice to clarify this Two of Cups, because we had a whole bunch of cards come out. It was very chaotic. Okay, Two of Wands. So you just may be unsure. You know, the twos in tarot are potentials. They are not guaranteed. So if this is about a romantic connection, you might, or the other person could be going back and forth. Do I want this connection? Do I not? Do I want this connection or do I want this connection? You know, it could be just confusion surrounding a connection. But also, ultimately, there could be plans to take this relationship to the next level. That's another way we can read this energy. And of course, this is like the next 2 weeks time frame as well. So there's a lot of twos going on in your reading. So the number 22 specifically might be very relevant to you, Farida. But let's get the advice. Those cards fell too. Look at this. All of these cards fell as well. So, wow. There's a lot going on. And I didn't feel like I needed to see what those were, so I didn't look. But I want just one word of advice to clear any confusion or chaos surrounding Farida's energy. Again, they fell again. Oh my gosh. But I'm taking this one off the top. Look at all these. All those fell. And I'm not trying to make this happen. This is just happening. So you could be very like, back and forth or in your feelings about it. Back and forth, yes. But your soul shines. So basically what this is telling me, Farida, is don't settle. If this person's giving you the runaround or they're making you jump through hoops or there's just a red flag somewhere along the course, it's probably not in your best interest to keep going down the road. You know what I mean? But again, follow your intuition. If there are red flags, please pay attention to the warning signs. That's really what I'm seeing here. I don't see that, your life's in danger or anything like that, but just your heart. Your heart could be caught in the crossfire of someone who's just looking to hang out and have some fun, but isn't looking for a deeper commitment. And that's the main vibe I'm getting here is one person involved is more invested in this becoming a thing than the other. Or one has a bigger heart for the other person than the other, if that makes sense. So big hugs to you. That doesn't sound like a very easy dynamic that you're dealing with right now. But all the best to you, Rita. Big hugs. Ooh, my prophecy stone just fell off my black obsidian. I had it. He looks to me like a porcupine. Like here's his little nose, here's his little legs, and all the little spikes. This is prophecy stone. It's basically, I can't remember if the word is oxidized or almost like a bronzing effect has happened over pyrite. So there's like pyrite under here. But prophecy stone. So this reading we just got might be kind of foretelling the future. So it might be something you just want to hear again if there was just one little nugget of information or truth in there for you, just to keep this reading in your back pocket as maybe future energy, especially over the next 2 weeks or so. Aw, you're so welcome, Farida. Big hugs. All right, so that being said, we have a couple donations, and I'm going to look over here at what's going on. I guess my PayPal's just deciding not to put any notifications on my phone. Maybe because it's plugged in. I don't know if that's a thing. I've gotten notifications before when my phone's been on or plugged in. I don't know why PayPal's not notifying, but I did see it come up on my little email pop up in the corner here. So I know we got at least a few. So we had Kirsten and Michelle Lynn are the two I've seen donations for, but I'm going to just maybe log into PayPal over here because I could have sworn I saw another one. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong, but I'm going to double check just in case. Just in case. So, Kirsten, go ahead and post your question or questions. I know you have at least two. So go ahead and post the first one so we can get into that for you. And I'm going to double check real quick. Got to sign in to PayPal. 14-point authentication to get in. Okay, here we go. All right, now they got to text me a code so I can get in. I don't know why they do this. Okay, there's the text. Okay. Yes, okay. Sorry, stand by. No, I think that is the gist of what we've got going on. So we have the 3 donations for Kirsten and Michelle Lynn. So Michelle Lynn is donating for 1 card, and Kirsten is on for 2 full readings. Plug this back in. Hopefully I'm not showing you my butt. Oh, there it is. Whoop, whoop, twerk, twerk. Sorry, I'm in one of those moods tonight. I swear to God, I've never twerked a day of my life until today. Oh, funny. So funny. Okay, sorry. All right. So, Kirsten, let's get back to seriousness here. I feel like I want to go to the Morgan Greer Tarot for your first question anyway. See what's going on for Kirsten. Will this $1 million Etsy seller's course help me become a successful $1 million seller as well? Should I take the course? This is my first question. Cool. And you can feel free to post your second question as I'm dealing out for this first question if you want, or you can hold off either way. Okay, so Kirsten, what does she need to know about will this be successful as a $1 million seller? Okay, so we have 6 of Cups. So there's some nostalgia here. So I would say, especially if you're relying on gifts from your past or even past life gifts, you have a good shot at becoming decently successful. As far as like $1 million successful, this is showing more past energy rather than future. And I'd really like to see some pentacles come out. It's going to be $1 million plus successful. But we have Hermit here. So this doesn't mean you're not going to make any sales. No. Let's not go there because this is a very intuitive card. It's Virgo. So Virgo season might be when you're ready to launch, or if you've already done a launch of some sort, when you're really going to start to see things pick up quite possibly. But I would say give yourself at least 3 years solid, like showing up day after day, week after week, before deciding this is not for you, or, you know, if it's taking a while. Because what I'm hearing is there is this element of patience for this to be a thing. Of course, this insider knowledge you're getting from this $1 million seller is absolutely going to help give you this bump or boost to get you going. But there still is the deal of algorithms and finding your way to the top of Etsy's seller lists and all these things. And so I would say there's this element of patience. And really, if you are selling spiritual related items, services, goods, whatever it is, that's your best bet, rather than just selling something to try to make money. If the main reason that you're doing this is to make an income, I would say you probably should go a different direction. But if your main objective is to do what you love and of course also make some money doing it, I would say it's worth doing. I'd say you will have some really great nuggets of wisdom on this road that this person, this $1 million seller, has gone on their own, and they're now selling and sharing what they did in the past as a solitary, lonely person, just trial and error. I would say this, you're going to get some highly beneficial information. Although that being said, as far as being a $1 million seller, I don't know that that's going to happen, especially overnight, but I would say give it at least 3 years. At least 3 years. If you aren't at that status by then, I would say you can kind of reassess if this is something you truly want. But let's just see anything else Kirsten needs to know about this $1 million course. Yeah, the sun. It's definitely going to benefit you. Definitely going to be beneficial, and you're going to get a lot out of it. It's going to really help you. So I would say if you are serious about Etsy at all, the course is going to benefit you. Again, though, as far as making the $1 million, let's see if that is a potential. Working Amanda. Yeah, you must be a little bit behind us. Yeah, that was me. Ooh, this one wants to come out. Ooh, Judgment. So, again, I'm not seeing it on this specific timeline, but if you are doing this from a more spiritual-centered perspective or spiritual reason that you're wanting to do Etsy to, meet soul family people through your services and all this, I would say you're going to have a much better way forward to make that money. And again, it's as you level up through dimensions, timelines, whatever you want to consider that, you have a pretty good chance of doing it, but not like in like the 3D kind of matrixy dimension. And not a lot of people do get to have $1 million Etsy business in the 3D, but those who are leveling up might. Yeah. So I would say if this is something very passionate for you, to work at it, twerk at it, like I was doing just a bit. You know, all jokes aside though, Kirsten, if this is something you're passionate about, that is going to fuel, you know, and put that beacon of, you know, light out into the world that those who could really benefit from your services will find you, because you're doing it from a very authentic and genuine place that you want to help people. If this is just a like get rich quick kind of thing for you, I would say it's probably not the best way to get rich quick. Because it's going to take a lot of time, money, not so much money, but like, you know, you're paying money to be able to do what you do to Etsy. So I would say if you're giving up before 3 years is out, the potential to make $1 million is probably very low. But that's the thing, if you're making that kind of money at 3 years, why would you stop, right? Unless you were content with the $1 million and you're just walking away because now you're retiring or something. But for the most part, I would say, again, if your heart's in the place where you want to do this because it's something you're very passionate about, you have a much greater chance. And again, shifting timelines to a timeline where this is highly, highly successful will be your best bet. Yeah, what is your honest truth? Being honest with yourself. Is this what you want to do? Is this where you want to spend a lot of your time, your effort, your attention? Putting all this effort in. I would say at the very least, you're learning very valuable things from this course and from you just pursuing Etsy sales in whatever capacity that is, goods or services or both. You're learning very valuable information that even if you decide in a while to, you know, close shop, what you've learned here will be very valuable for whatever it is you do next or at the same time. Even if you're doing Etsy kind of part-time and you're doing something else more full-time, what you're doing with Etsy is still going to benefit your full-time thing. And I feel like there's maybe more than one way I can explain that I'll just kind of leave it open-ended. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth doing and you're going to learn a lot from the course. As far as making the $1 million, it might be difficult, especially in like the 3D reality. But if you keep leveling up and, you know, really coming at this from your true spirit, anything's possible. But again, it's going to take at least 3 years. From any timeline I can tune into, it's going to take at least 3 years. So if you have 3 years to put into this, I'd say go for it. For sure. Yes. All right. So the second question you have, I feel like I want to shift to this deck now. So we're going to do that. Second question is having a hard time being close to people in relationships, like emotionally shut down and burn out when it comes to love. Can you read into this and tell me what I should do? Yes. Okay. So I'm already seeing, what I'm seeing is like a lion licking where another lion attacked. And I just accidentally scratched myself. I didn't mean to scratch myself. It's like, and I had two little scratch. And I scratched myself on the left side, which is the feminine side per at least this reality here. So it's like the wounded feminine. So, and it was weird because I saw like a masculine, like full mane lion. So your masculine side and your feminine side, it seems to me, were both very wounded with this most recent, divorce that you've been through. So there just is this, element of emotional healing, physical, mental healing as well. Physical, we can still carry these traumas, these abuses, the words that someone has said to us in our physical body. So there could be some clearing, some healing that you're doing. And one of the best, I always shout from the rooftops, not sponsored. I don't get any kind of kickback. I will only sing the praises of the things that I personally vet out, test, and really agree with. It has to be a 10 out of 10 for me to ever say a word about anything. And for me, Roots Restored Wellness is a 10 out of 10. Doing heart walls. You say you feel like your heart chakra is blocked. I can attest. I've done many heart wall sessions for myself, and she's actually recently combined heart walls and trapped emotions into one session. And it was very powerful when I most recently booked that session for my dog, Arthur, who's highly reactive to any dog. It's like he had to attack before he got attacked because he did get attacked quite a bit in the shelter he was in that we got him from. So it's almost like he had to feel like he had to be on the defensive. And kind of for you, it's almost like, well, I'll be on the defensive by just shutting down, and then that way I can't get hurt. Or, shutting down, burning out. So I would highly recommend her. And she's Roots Restored Wellness.com, or here on YouTube. She goes live every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So you can see what her sessions for the week are. She recently, a couple weeks ago, did the Trapped Emotions and Heart Wall session, but you can even go on her website and request an assessment, and she will, especially if you have, you put your question right there that you type to me in her assessment, and she will pick out the sessions that will most benefit this specific issue you have. And there's a lot going into it. I'm already getting like major downloads of sessions she'll probably tell you about, which would be the heart walls. It would also be the Creation Center, Restoration Center she has. There's another one that I just had, and then it just went. Probably traumas and abuses would be a session she would put on her assessment for you as well. But you can just go and look through her stuff. Highly, highly, highly recommend. I can't speak enough about quantum healing, especially the way Raylene does it. She bypasses all of this matrix crap and gets directly to the source and the root cause of what's going on. Hence why she's called Roots Restored. She restores the roots of our, ultimate abilities and stuff. So it might take a few sessions of certain things, but you're definitely going to notice the results. And of course, if you're also doing your own inner work in tandem, what's stopping you, girl? What's stopping you? But let's just tune into especially what you personally can do for yourself to really help with this outcome here of, not shutting down and burning out with relationships when it comes to love, just what you can personally do. But top tip, or told you, Roots Restored Wellness. So yes, for Kirsten. Yeah, this again, finding the balance. I saw the masculine lion and cutting the feminine side. So the balance of that divine masculine, divine feminine. Not the toxic feminine and the toxic masculine of this 3D matrix, but beyond. That's what you're tuning into. Your sacred divine masculine, sacred divine feminine, back into union, back into harmony, working together, not opposing each other. Especially women, because I can attest this because I am a woman who was in a toxic, narcissistic, abusive relationship. I guess it's been 20 years ago at this point. Over 20 years now. I broke up with him June 26, 2003. So we just crossed that 20-year threshold that I've been free of that energy. And just coming from that, I can say that it takes a lot of work, and it can be very, very hard to just bring that beautiful, almost innocent love back to the surface. But it can be done, and it definitely will be done if you are doing the work yourself, to even just setting the intention. If you don't know what to do, just asking your inner self, your true spirit that exists outside this matrix, what your next step is in your healing, and you will get the very clear answer. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kirsten, if this is kind of a extended reading of what we got for you in our 2-card reading at the beginning. But let's just see anything else. Oh, funny. I'm almost trying to do another one of those readings because now I picked up the Sacred Creators deck without realizing, and I thought I had the tarot deck. This is Creator Alchemy, the number 60, which resonates with like temperance energy, very balanced energy. And we've got the Justice card here as well. So and that's one of kind of the symptoms of all you've been through, is just wanting to completely shut it down because it's just easier on the physical body and the psyche than to allow yourself to go into uncharted waters in that kind of regard with someone else. So really the best thing you can do outside of what I already told you would be to just make that be okay for now. That's okay that you feel that way right now. It's not going to last forever, but right now, and that will actually give you center stage for you to focus on you. Be in that very, very specific one-on-one healing, loving, committed relationship with you. You don't need someone else to come in and muddy those waters. You with you. That's what you're working on. For sure. You can create alchemy. You can alchemize those asexual and aromantic feelings by, gotta feel it to heal it, to deal with it, to release it, to move on, right? So they're, asking that inner self for your next step in regard to what to do is going to be your very best bet. It looks like we have an ad coming in 23 seconds. So let's see what else for Kirsten. Oh, Queen of Cups. Yes, you got to feel it. You got to feel it to heal it, to deal with it. And that could be the hardest part. It's the feeling it and acknowledging that it happened and the forgiving of yourself for allowing it to happen. Because that's one thing of, being a victim of narcissistic abuse is we blame ourselves. Like, how could I have let this happen? Let me take a quick break, though, just in case Kirsten got drug away from our live stream by an ad. So we almost become our own victim a lot of times when, and again, just kind of speaking from, and even if you don't completely resonate, I think so many people that have been through an abusive relationship of any kind, parent, child, romantic, siblings, friends, there's all sorts of toxic and abusive relationship dynamics out there. Combinations for days. Most people that have been through that, they almost kind of get in on that abuser's, side of, how could I have allowed that to happen? How could you be so stupid for allowing that to happen? Even if it's more on a subconscious level, or we almost get this mentality of once a victim, always a victim. And then, it takes time to clear that toxic, thought and almost it becomes a belief system after a while. So really honing in, focusing in on yourself, your relationship with yourself, healing yourself, focusing on your joy, your career, your happiness, all those things, your own healing. Roots Restored Wellness could work wonders. Again, sponsored, not hashtag not sponsored, I should say. Highly beneficial to just be in that relationship with you and do your healing. And again, you don't have to really go dig deep personally. You can, have Raylene with Roots Restored Wellness do the deep digging and the transmuting and the alchemizing. And then you don't have to do that dirty hard work. There will be things that come up that you can deal with here and there as you do these deeper healings. But most of the healing that we do, we don't even have to dig that deep. It's usually very close to the surface. If it's ready to heal, it's right there a lot of the time. And even Raylene talks about, these things heal in layers. So even if you got a session and it says, okay, you're 100% clear, and then you go back to her and get another assessment and it says, oh, you need this session again, it's because you've worked so down deep that now further trauma has been uncovered, which can almost feel like like a catch-22. Is like the more healing you do, the more healing there is to do. But that doesn't just help you in this lifetime. It helps you through all time, space, reality, lifetime, universe, everything. It's not just limited to this life. She digs to the past, the future, parallel times, all of it. It doesn't help that all the counselors are booked up in my area. Yeah, that can feel really hard. Again, this is nothing I've vetted myself, but I've heard of something online called BetterHelp. I've heard YouTubers talk about it. I've never personally used it, so I can't vet that out. But there are YouTubers that I watch that talk about BetterHelp and how it's helped them. Again, though, personally haven't vetted it, so that's kind of at your own discretion. I don't know if they have like a free trial thing. I don't know. But I've seen people sponsored by that, and that could be a possibility. And again, if you get a counselor or whatever that you're not really vibing with, there's many counselors on there, so you can find the one that feels the most right for you. Hopefully, even just setting that intention. Set that intention that you'll find a counselor in your area or on BetterHelp or on some other place that's going to benefit you. You set that intention to begin with, and you're going to be 10 steps ahead of just blindly booking something with no intention set. Set the intention that the person that's going to help you most will find you right away, or you'll find them right away. You won't have to wade through 10 different counselors before you find what's right. That's where your intentions and your free will can really, take you quantum leaps ahead of just going through the motions or reacting to what's happening to you. Instead, you're being proactive. You're responding maybe yes to the energy that's current, and then starting to make headway in a direction that you're feeling way more empowered when you set those really strong intentions and even boundaries for yourself. So I highly recommend intention setting. It works wonders compared to just blindly going through the motions of life. I will tell you that. All right. So I did see some other donations come in through email, or maybe it was one. No, it was two. So Brianna, we have a 1 card pull for her. And Pika Lee for full read. So I'm going to add these two lovely ladies to the list. So get back to the right view here. Here we go. Okay, so go back up to my donation list, which, did I ever post it? No, I did not. Okay, we're going to post it now. Donation list, and we have Michelle Lynn next. I do know that. So Michelle Lynn for her one card read. Sorry, my nose itches. Okay, and funny, Michelle, because as I said that, I heard in my head, your nose always itches when Michelle's about to be reading. And usually I associate nose itching with like good luck. So yay, let's do it. So Michelle Lynn, one card, Brianna, one card, and then Pika Lee full read. So let me get this list. Hello, Sandy. Okay, so Michelle Lynn, one card. Brianna, one card. And no, not one car, but one card. And then Pika Lee full read. Of course, anyone else looking to donate, we will take care of you as well. Ooh, let me fix that dough in donate. The O in donate, I should say. Dough and donate. They were both capitalized, but now I fixed it. Okay. Lynn says, what can I expect this July? I'm asking because some things are happening at work, and I feel I'm ready to go, but I don't know where else. To go, I feel with the nodes shifting to Aries and Libra this month, it will impact me. Yeah, because, right, you're a Libra ascendant per Western astrology. So it's shifting into your first house. You're now focused on you and what's best for you, which is good, you know. Well, actually, if it's the South Node, a lot of times we have to figure out first what's good for us and then project it into the 7th house of other people. So, yes. And yes, Brianna, you can totally get a timestamp. Absolutely. I will put behind yours 2 timestamps so I don't forget. Timestamp. Ooh, that was a high school timestamp. Okay. So if you're not here when we do a shout out for your reading after Michelle Lynn's one card, I will definitely timestamp. But if you're here, I'll still timestamp it, but yeah. Okay. So yes, let's really tune in and see how July will be for Michelle Lynn. What can she expect? Ooh. The world, yes, closing out a cycle, closing out a chapter, moving on to something brighter and better and more in alignment with your current energy. You're closing out a chapter. But let's see, we're kind of have those things happening at work, not ready, or you are ready to go, but not sure where else to go. Let's just ask that, where to go, where can Michelle Lynn go? Ooh, Page of Cups, something creative. Might even have to do with the degree that you have. Utilizing your talents and gifts, which would be, you know, your degree. So looking for jobs that are relevant to the degree that you have would probably be your best starting point. I'm also hearing you could do fine in retail, but I don't know that that's something you probably want to do. At this point, you're probably kind of just ready to move on to something better for yourself, and you definitely deserve, not saying that there aren't people out there that enjoy retail, but I just don't see that would be where your heart would be. Or even other food service, just not where your heart will be forever. This to me feels more like in creative control of your, you know, your career or your job. And a lot of times with retail and food service, you don't have a lot of creative control unless you are like the head chef or something, right? And it feels to me like now's the time you're shifting out of this energy of just doing what's, you know, step by step with this and actually finding a job where you have more creative control or more decision-making ability in your job. And not just with people, but like with the job itself, whatever the job is. Yeah, so green psychology, retail doesn't excite me. Yeah, I'll just raise my hand right now. I've never worked retail a day in my life. A lot of food service, a lot of like industrial work. I worked at a lumber mill. I worked at a, God, what was that place? Welding place. I've worked a lot of weird forest fires, you know, fighting forest fires. I've worked a lot of like manual jobs, a lot of landscaping type jobs, and a lot of restaurant and food service stuff like in my early 20s, which really, it was fun for the time, but it didn't excite me long term. None of it did. None of it did. I want something really creative, and none of those really fit the bill for me. Yeah. let's just see. Anything else Michelle needs to know about these nodes shifting? And yeah, communications coming in. You're going to get some really good clarity, even though that would look like the South Node transiting your first house, which a lot of times it does lead to you. We'll just put this out there. It's almost kind of the truth bomb of this is when that South Node does transit your first house, you really do lose who you are. I mean, in a sense, you don't know who you are, but it really does force you into that, out into the greater world. It does force you to go out and try something new, to close out those cycles, to learn who you are, a lot of times by way of process of elimination, by kind of, I won't say just sitting and contrasting and comparing yourself to others, but, trying on new hats, trying out new things. Even if you're, applying for a job that you're not quite sure if it's right for you, but you find out it's like your dream job and you get the job and you're just so surprised. There's a lot of ways you're learning about yourself with this next transit, with the South Node going into your first house. So yeah, I would say there's a lot of communication and clarity coming in. And things might happen really fast. So you're like, what just happened? And then you're kind of left to deal with the backlash of, I don't know, just picking up the pieces of energetically, wow, I'm in a whole different place, like mentally and emotionally. In a good way, though. I see it as a good thing. So yeah, I would say just focusing on what, setting intentions, like we were talking about in a lot of those first readings we did for everybody, of just really setting intentions that, okay, I'm going to apply for a job, but before I even apply, I'm going to put that intention out there and let the universe know I'm serious about getting out of this place and into something that's very fulfilling, creative, where I feel like a sense of purpose and it pays well and I love the people I work with. And, you don't have to be as specific as exactly what the job will look like day to day, but just the feelings you want to feel at work and with the people you work with. That can get the ball rolling to where now these positions will start aligning with you. Yeah, try to communicate to my job that I'm not happy and have them hire someone else. Yeah, and a lot of times when you're working, like especially like a chain, a lot of times it's like the person whose name is behind the company doesn't work there because they're a corporate, they're like a big chain. So they don't so much care about the day-to-day operations. But if you're working for, a place where the owner works on site, you usually have a lot better chance of getting what you're asking for, or at least having them listen to you because their name is involved here. And if you quit and then go yell about how horrible they are, they're the ones left holding the bag, Yeah, I feel like your voice wasn't heard as well. And that Knight of Swords card that we had for you too, Michelle, that could be you possibly saying something just to get it off your chest and speaking your truth, and then, walking away with two middle fingers up behind you and just, we're done with this place because I found something better and I tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen, and oh, well, not my problem anymore kind of vibe. I don't see that it'll have to come to that, but if they just will not listen and you're burned out and there's just too much going on, and then now you're applying for jobs that are more in alignment with what you want to do and who you want to be, they're going to lose out on a great employee. So I don't know if that will happen in July. It might be more into August, September, but if you're real serious, Michelle, about making this career move, it can happen pretty swiftly. If you're real serious and you set that intention and, get that ball rolling and start applying or start asking jobs to present themselves some way, somehow, you'll be surprised at how quickly these things start popping up for you, these opportunities. You don't have to take the opportunities, but these opportunities will start presenting themselves, and then you can decide what you want to do. You have more power here than you realize, but it's not going to be power at the current work spot. It's going to be power to get a job that's more in alignment with who you've become and who you will continue to become over the next years. And the place you're currently at just isn't it for you anymore. And you've known that for a really long time, I think. So now you're going to get real serious, especially as, that South Node transits into your first house. You're really going to start to feel lost just as a person, which, is hard. It sucks because I went through that. I'm going through that with, that South Node in my first house as a Libra ascendant per Vedic astrology. So I've been feeling it, it's been a lot. And, I still question, even though it's been there for a while, I still question, am I even doing the right thing? And I know I'm getting more answers and downloads about it, but I'm just open to all these new opportunities. I haven't taken the leap on a couple of them, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna. So yeah, and sometimes just having to leave behind the old, that world energy. And I think you kept getting like the world card, kind of closing out those cycles, starting something new, all that. Big hugs, Michelle. I think you're gonna figure something out. All right, Brianna. Just let me know if you're here or not, but I'm definitely time stamping for you. Usually you do leave your question. So B degree timestamp 1:15:01. Okay. And for some reason, I want to add that up. So 1 + 1 + 5, that's 7, + 1 is 8. Okay, so you're in an 8 energy. This is about taking action, about, karma, but like in a good way, good karma coming full circle, coming around, financial gain possibly. But let's go to your question. See what your one card read is even about here, my dear. Okay. So one card pull, amazing reading on how to utilize the next 72 hours. Well, you're definitely taking some action on something. Let's put that out there. Okay. How's Brianna utilizing the next 72 hours? Okay, I feel like I need to take this one. Knight of Cups. So this is moving forward. There's definitely forward momentum. And it's something you're emotionally invested in or very passionate about. Could even be a like love move or flirting, or, if you're already with someone, this could just be, wanting to have some really good quality time with them, going on a date night. Could really fuel you for just really feeling inspired about life and about your goals, your dreams, your wishes, desires, all the fun things. But do something that brings you joy. Do things that you're passionate about. I'm almost reading this energy here of the blue watercolor, almost like a coffee stain, like when you set your cup down, or tea stain. You set your cup down on like a table and it leaves that ring, or on a piece of paper it leaves that ring. So you might be very like caffeinated, or you're wanting, like, you have more energy is kind of really how I'm reading that. You're having more energy to get down to business with something. Could even be dealing with like administrative type paperwork, paying bills, that kind of thing that you're normally just not really enthused about, but you're just like, let's just get this done. Like, you're in this like action oriented time over the next 72 hours. For sure, Brianna. Sacred Creator deck I accidentally grabbed instead of the tarot deck again, but there's a reason for it. Ooh, your soul shines. So yeah, you really are, with this combination, you're feeling very passionate, inspired just about who you are, what you can accomplish, what you're going to be when you grow up, and utilizing the next 72 hours worth of time. That's what, 3 days worth of time. So that takes us from Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. I would say, why is there hair in my mouth or near my mouth? There we go. Got it. Just touching my mouth. So you might be distracted here and there on your next 72 hours, but just regroup, recalibrate yourself. If you need a rest. You need that caffeination boost, like some of us do or don't. I don't really, but some people do. Then utilize that, because there's some really great downloads. There might even be some downloads coming in your dream state. We have that number 34 there on the bottom here, which is adding up to that 7. We're in that universal year number 7. And the 72 hours, there's a 7 within that, and then the 2 of really working with others. So if you do have a like accountability partner, that's something that keeps coming up for me, is to find some sort of accountability partner. Especially if you're someone who's self-motivated, but you don't have a lot of deadlines outside of you that are going to affect a bunch of people. You work for yourself, or you have your own kind of goals, dreams, wishes that just kind of aren't reliant on your like day job. Sometimes having an accountability partner could be a partner, or a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a friend. I've said friend like 14 times. Someone you trust and can be vulnerable with, or share, kind of some of your goals with. That could benefit you a lot. So I would say being accountable to yourself first and foremost over these next 72 hours. If you have some major deadline or something you're really wanting to accomplish, I would say make that your priority. If you don't really have a game plan for the next 72 hours, just allow, if you have some specific intentions to set them, sure. But then just see what life brings you. Sometimes that's fun, just to, instead of being so calm and calculated about everything, just kind of allowing things to come to you, being in receptive mode. Although, remember, you're in very masculine energy of action, action, action. But don't be afraid to pull back from time to time over these next 72 hours to allow the feminine to just flow in, okay? But you might have some epiphanies. Even if you don't completely realize a goal or a dream or something over the next 72 hours, you might get some really great insight or ideas, or meet someone that could benefit your future goal in some way. All right. So I hope that resonated, Brianna. All right. It's so hot in here, you guys. Woo! And Sandy has donated as well. Just Sandy. Put her on the list. Okay, so Kika Lee is next, and then Sandy will be on deck, and both have full reads here. I'm going to double check that we didn't get any other donations in the meantime. No, we're still caught up. Great. Awesome. Okay. So Kika Lee, sometimes she leaves, I think usually she leaves her questions. Let me double check here. Yes. Did I know my new boo Taurus in a past life? I swear he's like the answer to my prayers. I'm curious if we've crossed paths before. I'm already getting like a major yes, like YAAAAAAS, like yes, like that. So it's not just one past life or 2 or 3 or just a handful. There's a lot. And funny, I haven't even shuffled, haven't even tuned in too much yet, but we've already got healing on the back of the deck. There's maybe even that you've had past lives in the same area that you're currently in. And that would have been, 1620s, in the 1620s, where you're currently at. And it feels to me like some sort of tribal living situation, but they had some sort of advanced technology that isn't known about in like our current history book. It's so weird. But the roles were reversed. So you were the masculine, he was the feminine in that life. Yeah. And you even live near water. I don't know if there's water where you're at now, but in 1620s, there was water where you're at. Not like completely engulfed in water or completely submerged in water, I should say. But I'm seeing like a lake with a river flowing into it is kind of the vibe. So if you don't currently live near that, but we're talking about your current area, there just might have been some geological changes and shifts in the last, 400 years-ish? Yeah. All right, let's see. We definitely got a big yes as far as past life stuff, but let's see if you had a more specific question about, I'm going to reread it again. Yeah, curious if you crossed paths before. So I want to see if this lifetime where you're currently at is the lifetime that's wanting to be talked about, or if there's a different, more prominent lifetime that's, healing is the name of the game though here. Wow. I'm getting like warrior energy, but like shaman energy, all sorts of stuff. Oh, there's a lake in the park I'm very drawn to, and 1620 just gave me chills. Okay. Yeah. I got chills now as you're saying that. That is, yes. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Yeah. The Hermit, which is so weird. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I got this card. A bunch came out at the same time. So the page came out. Where did it go? Here it is. And then I saw the Hermit, and then there were like all this. I saw the Hermit. I'm like, ooh, shaman kind of energies. So there was like advanced technology or abilities, I guess we could say, that had to do with healing, but also water, buildings. And now I'm seeing like the shapes of stars. So look up Google if you want to, star forts, like healing technologies, star forts, Tartaria, if you want to go that far. There's a lot of information being downloaded. But yeah, it was a very creative lifetime. Yes, it was very what you'd consider tribal living, but not as, and this is where I might lose some of you, not like indigenous tribal living. I'm not talking in that way where you're literally just living off the land. I see very intricate buildings and designs. So in the town that you're currently in, probably pretty near that lake that you are really drawn to, there might be some very old buildings that they may say, if you go up, a lot of buildings have like the year it was built. And sometimes you can go to like the local history, go to your library and find out local history of your town. They might say some of these buildings were built in the 18 whatevers, but no. Some of these buildings, especially if you are kind of drawn to some, if there are some really old buildings in town, I'm really seeing they were built even before the 1620s. And they are still standing firm and strong like they had been built in the 18 whatevers. But no, they were built much farther back. And this wasn't just primitive living. There was advanced technology that's now been kind of revoked or I'm even seeing like power running through like the buildings, but not, it was electricity, but not in the way we know it. It was a lot of illumination. Um, and you had a very important job, and you and the husband, well, you were the wife, or sorry, you were the husband, he was the wife in this lifetime. Uh, it's very interesting because with this Page of Wands, I'm getting very Mercury vibes. Mercury with the wing sandals, and they used to use Mercury in like the batteries, the charging stations for these. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm just talking in circles because there's so much information to know about the star forts and just hidden history, I guess you could say. But you were very in charge of just allowing this energy, this healing waters, healing energy to flow. Oh my gosh, yeah, and the lantern. Yeah, like the lantern, the Mercury in the lantern. Oh my God, I don't know what they were called. But in the churches, yeah, go look it up. You will be completely fascinated. If you have to email me, and Sandy, yes, I'm still trying to get back to your other email. I've been kind of putting that on my to-do list day to day, and then it keeps getting moved because life. About your camera, different ones to contrast and compare a list. I've been looking for some videos for you to see the best information for that. But yes, you can email me at amanda@donePhotodesign.com, and I can put all those keywords I just told you in a document and let you go wild from there. There's a lot of information out there. Even Dutch Sense, who's a YouTuber that talks about earthquakes all the time, has uncovered a great many things and talks about a lot of this stuff himself. But I had actually tuned into this stuff back in like 2020 and was just like completely blown away, and so much of it made so much sense to me. But you guys were like a very connected and sacred couple. But toward when you guys lost your lives, wasn't that you grew old and passed away. You were actually taken out because you were trying to be peaceful and just continue your way of life. And, of course, the story goes as colonizers coming in, which, yes, I will agree, colonizers come in and wipe these tribes out. That did happen. But it wasn't as, again, like living, they call these people savages. They call them, wild people. And, all of these are just so like inflammatory language now to call people this. But they were not, they lived in buildings. They did all these things. Not to say that the people who live off the land are those things. I'm not saying that either. But these people were peacefully living, giving free energy to the whole town and living peacefully and healing and living hundreds of years and being just fine until more systems of control and this whole matrix trap just locked and loaded. I mean, it's been here a while, even way before that, but there were certain pockets around the world where they could almost have this, we envision like Atlantis or Lemuria or something like that kind of existence in the past, but more recently than you might think. And with the Fool energy here, this is letting me know that you guys are actually having a renewed sense of purpose in this life, kind of carrying on the ways of that life, but in a completely different way. And you're not going to be taken out because you're trying to make a stand for peace. It's not going to be the same way. Lemuria. So, I mean, you've got connections, of course, to those Lemurian lifetimes as well. But I'm seeing this more recent 1620s lifetime as not so primitive as they're saying, and very peaceful, very healing. And you guys worked as a team. You're, the husband and wife team. But the colonizers, as we'll just call them per the history books, it was a lot different than what they say. And the picture wasn't so just out in a field or a desert or a mountainside. There were actual buildings and, not just colonies as far as a bunch of little huts and stuff. I mean, these are highly technologically advanced buildings, systems that were put in place that were wiped out and pretty much erased from history and told to be something much newer than they actually were. But in this life, basically, the brass tacks we're getting down to is what? Mostly that you have a new chance at almost just reviving that connection, but having less stakes as far as being in trouble. Yeah, having more control over your destiny or your connection, the separation of the two of you will be your choice if that ever comes to be, not, both of you taken out because you were making a stand for peace. And just living your sovereign lives and loving each other. And, this is the very divine masculine energy that, love, honor, and protecting, the feminine. Very, very beautiful. So, wow. I'd say there's no accident to where you guys incarnated in this life and where you feel drawn. Yeah. I mean, that's really, when it comes down to, yes, there's got to be that attraction to carry a long-term committed relationship, but there also has to be underlying values and views being similar, if not almost exactly the same a lot of times, because, yeah. Oh, we got an ad coming. Yeah, both of us are very spiritual and open-minded too, yes, and that's awesome. And I really do see that as really aiding you in just really discovering who you are just as individual people, but also as a couple, like, what you're here to do to create as like a legacy as a couple, if that's what you choose to do. Yeah. Because you can shift things, really trusting your own intuition, but also there's that illusion or deception of, these past lives being told as one way, but actually they're something completely different. That's really what I see this as, is you tuning into your intuition of what's true and right for you, as opposed to what has been written in history books or, what you think you should remember or, but just tuning into the real truth of it. Yeah, I love that. It's so cool. Oh my goodness. So we've got some, yeah, and the word, if you want to look up, okay, I'll just maybe give you a little crash course. Sandy, you're next, my dear. Hello, Kat. Welcome, my dear. We've got lots of deers coming in here. All right, so Tartaria, mud floods. Oh gosh, rabbit holes for days. Star cities. Star forts. Yeah. Trying to think of the guy. I think it's called Old Scary World on YouTube. His channel's called Old Scary World. He shares a lot of what he's always calling like Tartarian places and buildings, and even like doing research on the World's Fairs. And it's very interesting because a past life I actually did for Katie R, where she was Sam Dock, who was like a trapeze artist, actually prompted me to really go down a rabbit hole about the World's Fairs and the fact that they were actually utilizing these World's Fairs to dismantle a lot of this history that's now been wiped. Check it out. A lot going on with that stuff. Yeah. Whatever spirit has for Sandy. All right. I feel like we're going to Morgan Greer Tarot for Sandy. But I hope that resonated, Peekly. Yeah, look into it. Let us know what you think of it, or if you get any downloads, past life downloads. I mean, when I started doing research, before we get into Sandy's, when I first started doing research about some of this stuff, it just gave me chills left, right, and center. And I just, even if it's not completely true, because I don't think there is just one facet of complete truth out there, because there's always lies, and, the retelling of something could, embellish something, like you just never know. But the root, true, like essence of the message and, what we were told, it resonates. I don't know. It may not have happened exactly the way they say, but there are pieces and bits and nuggets of truth and wisdom in there that I know to be true. Like, I know myself as me, right? And a lot of us don't know each other or ourselves, so sometimes I can almost feel like I don't even know who I am, especially if we've been lied to about our, ancestry or history or where we came from, who we are. It can feel very scary to even know what the truth is, but we know when we know. Even if we can't put into words why, sometimes we just know. All right, so Sandy, tuning into Sandy's lovely energy. What does Spirit have for Sandy tonight? And I think that's our last donation. Let me just double check before we really get into the nitty gritty of Sandy's reading. Yes. So anyone else looking to get a reading tonight, now is your chance to donate. Because after Sandy's, if we don't have any other donations, I'll be signing off. What does Spirit have for Sandy tonight? Ooh, High Priestess. So tuning into this more spiritual energy, I really do see this as you just really honing your skills, because you really do have such a spiritual job with what you create, Sandy. Heard my kid running upstairs. He didn't come in here though. Oh yeah, Kat, you have some time. We usually spend anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes on these bigger reads. So yeah. Well, knowing me, I usually can spend even longer than that, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to keep them kind of in the time frame. But yeah. So this to me feels, very stonework related. Having all those stones around you really does help you tune into more of your essence, more of your, true spirit. It's just a calming energy too, I feel. Yeah, look at this. All these stones she's wearing, the lap of luxury. She's even wearing one of your rings right there, Sandy. Look at her. So I don't know if you have something big planned for your work stuff, like big auction, a big event of some sort, or you're just kind of looking to try some new things. I'm not sure what exactly you've got planned, or if maybe this is still future energy. You're getting some insight, and a lot of your past hard work is going to pay off. And what this, the most logical way we can put this information coming through, Sandy, is maybe you're just kind of cleaning house, cleaning shop, and, discovering things that you forgot you made, or, things that have fallen down behind tables, and you're like, oh, wow, I could sell this, I could sell that, I could sell this, and bringing yourself a nice little chunk of change. Maybe even if you're going on like a gem shopping excursion for future pieces you're making, whatever gems you're picking, utilizing your intuition at this time is going to lead to some pretty lucrative sales in your future. So if you're not cleaning the shop and finding things, this could be yet to come in if you're planning any kind of buying trip, or, purchases that you're purchasing stones, or, supplies, or whatever it is. Even setting that intention before you go, or before you purchase something, that this is going to be very beneficial, not only for the person wearing it that you're selling it to, but also for you and your bottom line, right? Because that's important as well. So there might be something you're creating that is going to be very highly sought after, or if you're rebranding yourself, or it's very interesting. So we have these flowers here, and they're sure they look kind of like fans or flowers, but over here they almost look like bundles of cash. Do they not? Does that not look like a bunch of cash? I mean, come on now. So, there could be some money coming in. But again, I feel like you have created either the opportunity for this money to come in, or your past efforts, or even future efforts, if this is something you're still yet to do, will bring about some great income for you. All right, what else does Spirit have for Sandy? I don't know if you're having a heat wave where you are, but it's very hot in this room, and for some reason I feel called to talk about it in your reading. So when things feel really hot, a lot of times we want to do what we can to just cool ourselves down and not feel so hot, because it's kind of miserable, right? It just doesn't feel good when we're a little over hot, or a little, cold, or whatever. But it's almost about sometimes just feeling into the fact that you feel a little overheated right now. And of course, be safe about it. Don't go sit in the blazing sun and just be like, I'm feeling hot. Amanda told me to feel hot. Don't do that, Sandy. But sometimes just acknowledging how we feel, and feeling almost these like waves of heat coming in, especially women. I'm not quite of that age yet, but women that get hot flashes and stuff. So if you've been having any kind of trouble with like hot flashes, or it's just the heat of the season, or what it is, but sometimes just really feeling in not just the fact that, okay, I'm feeling hot right now, but what is this trying to tell me? And again, because you have that high priestess here, there might be some intuition or like idea that comes to your mind of why you're feeling a certain way. Especially if you're uncomfortable, like heat wise, or, even like random aches and pains wise, there's something that's trying to be told to you. Something might be out of balance. If you had planned a trip or something that didn't happen in the past, it might be happening soon, or at least by the end of this calendar year. That wants to be said. I don't know if you had a trip that or maybe it's even some place you've always wanted to go, but you've never quite had the chance, and you'll be figuring out, maybe not going on the trip by the end of the year, but figuring out, okay, I'm going to make this a priority to get this trip, or to go visit this place, or this person, or whatever it is. That didn't work out before, or that you've always wanted to do but just didn't happen. Okay, anything else Sandy needs to know? This could even be just prioritizing things. So if there's certain things you want to do but they're just not getting done, or there's these to-do list type of things that just kind of keep following you around, kind of like me needing to get back to you. I have a couple other emails I have to answer to, and having a hard time getting a driver's license in Utah. Okay, that makes sense. So there's like that travel energy of something you're trying to do that just wasn't working out before will work out. And traditionally, I'm trying to think, does this traditionally have a ship in the background? If it does, I don't know that I've ever noticed. It's usually the Three of Wands. He's looking out at the ships, meaning travel. But the travel's at his back. So it just might kind of come out of nowhere that somehow you're going to find the loophole or the right information to be able to get that driver's license figured out. But just being able to, not feel like you're wasting time. Like you're using your time to the best of your ability, meaning, if you have a priority of something or you want to get certain things done, just putting those at the top of the to-do list and making sure you're following through by getting those done. Yeah. Anything else Sandy needs to know? Ooh, wish fulfillment. So especially because we were really tuning into that driver's license, I think your wish is coming true. So again, just setting these intentions that, we didn't do a collective reading today, but there was kind of this collective message running through people's readings at the beginning of the live stream today about setting intention, not just, obviously if we want to get a driver's license, we're setting the intention, okay, I want to get my driver's license. But sometimes we take it a step further and almost envisioning it being easy. It's just effortless. We walk into the DMV. There's no line. We made our appointment or whatever. We're meeting with the person. We're smiling for our photo. And, a couple weeks later or however long, we're opening our mail and we're holding that license in our hand. Sometimes we need to set intentions by way of almost visualizing the outcome we want. But I always leave that open-ended or better. Because sometimes the fact that something that we want so bad, like getting this driver's license, and it's just not happening, no matter what we're doing, jumping through hoops, it's just not happening. Sometimes there's kind of almost a divine protection in the reason something's not happening. So sometimes, again, just maybe if you're feeling overwhelmed or overheated or emotional or whatever, tuning in and be like, why do I feel like this? We never know the reasoning behind why certain things work out, certain things don't. But I have a feeling you're going to find your answers, or at the very least find your answers, or at the very most, get your wish fulfilled. Your hard work, whatever hard work you're putting in, again, kind of going beyond just this 3D reality of jumping through all the DMV hoops and all this and that, but setting those intentions, kind of utilizing your spirit energy to make things happen, that hard work will pay off, it will manifest, and you will be very happy. And possibly that driver's license, you being able to get it will, for some reason, just having that, it's not a slip of paper, but it's like that card, we'll just call it that. Having that card on your person, it's almost like you have it's funny, it's like, I got a license to kill, but like not in a bad way, but like, it's like you're vetted, you're passed, right? So it's like you have a free pass to do something. So it almost gives you this sense of power. Not that a driver's license or, a birth certificate or a this or a that should give us power, because really we are power. That's just our natural state. We are spirit, we are power. But sometimes having these different credentials and this and that kind of make our 3D human life a lot easier. And I can totally see why, of course, it would just be easiest for you to be able to get that. But, maybe sometimes just asking, like, why is this so difficult? It shouldn't be this hard. So why? Why is this not working out for me? And sometimes the answer might surprise you, and sometimes you may not get the answer for a while. But again, whatever answer you're looking for, it will be coming. I would say by the end of August, you're going to have some pretty big answers to any questions or confusion you have right now, especially surrounding your driver's license or even just your money, your work, just balancing your day-to-day priorities and then just time-wasting activities, which I would say I'm not this advocate of just working and grinding, ourselves to the bone. No. There is very much needed time for us to just, quote unquote, waste time or just be without feeling like we have to accomplish or do something or tick something off the to-do list. We absolutely need downtime. So make sure you're, balancing some downtime with some work time and some priority time and some off time and some downtime and some whatever. Fun time. Have some fun, Sandy. I'm just hearing have some fun. All right. Let's just see anything else Sandy needs to know for spirit. Anything else? Ooh. Aw, your soul shines. Yes. So again, just really tuning with that high priestess energy. Really tuning into your inner self, your true spirit, your true essence, because it really is bright and shiny. More bright, more shiny than those opals you're trying to take pictures of as well, Sandy. So just know, you showing up, even if things feel really difficult. Again, asking yourself, why is this so difficult? what can I do to make this easier? Am I maybe closed down to outside help if someone's trying to help me? Or, we can sometimes sabotage ourselves. So there might be just an element of tuning in and seeing if there's any bit of that going on. And then we have gratitude again. So I just don't ever underestimate the power of feeling grateful for the things and the people and the amazingness that's already going on in our lives. So sometimes to shift something that's just not moving forward, that feels like a pain, that feels like rejection, that feels like just it should be easier than this, why isn't it easier? Sometimes just focusing on the things that are easier, the things that are joyful, the things that are working can really open those doors where there may have once been a wall. So I feel like I need one more for Sandy. Just anything else she needs to know. All right. Anything else for Sandy? Yes, gold. Well, your soul shines. That is for sure. And all these gems we're talking about, and the cash money that was, in that one card with the kind of flowers that look like bundles of cash. There's some sort of money or treasure or asset or just time that maybe you didn't think you had is coming to you in some way. So just keep that as kind of a message that I don't want to completely try to narrow it down as it's this or it's that or it's this or it's that. Because I think it could be many things coming toward you or wanting to come toward you. And it's about being receptive. And sometimes the greatest, assets and gold that the universe tries to give us is help through other people. And especially if you're someone who wants to do it all yourself, or you feel like, oh, if I ask for someone to help me, I'm weak. Or, a lot of us have these weird subconscious beliefs surrounding allowing others to help. So if you are someone who kind of just is kind of a one-man band as far as just doing it all yourself, and yes, once in a while maybe you'll let someone help, but for the most part you don't, just try to open up a little more, because you might be surprised at the help, the assets, abundance that wants to flow to you when you do open up a bit. Or even just set the intention that, okay, I'm open to receive, universe, what you got for me. Only the good stuff though, please. Let's just bring the good stuff in. We don't want any of that crap. Nope, keep it out. We just want the good stuff for Sandy. All right, big hug, Sandy. Thanks again for your lovely donation. And I didn't see that Kat's donation came in yet, but yes, it did. There it is. All right, so Kat, general reading for her. Anything that wants to come out? Okay. Love you, Sandy. I will be answering your question. I can't remember the guy's name. Digital Rev, I think. I don't know, though, that he's still active as a YouTuber, but his videos help me select the camera that I use for my vlogging and filming for my channels. But I don't know that he's still active as a YouTuber. I know he's still got the backlog of those cameras, but it might have been a while since he's been off YouTube. I mean, it's still there, but he's not contributing all these new cameras and whatnot. And now we're into mirrorless cameras, all sorts of cool stuff. But yeah, I will try to find something that you can see that will help you figure that out for yourself. All right, let's go to Kat's energy now. In general, what does she need to know? Tuning into Kat's energy, her spirit. Ooh, the Page of Wands and the Star. Look at that. Love you too, Sandy. Kat, there's some wish fulfillment coming in. Recognition, reward, healing. There's a lot of healing in this card as well, because it always comes after the Tower in the tarot, and the Tower is not a fun time. The Tower is definitely past energy for you, and you are now in more star energy, or very soon will be coming into star energy. But this feels by way of you feeling inspired to do something new. There might be a new opportunity, if it hasn't already come, or a new kind of direction you're wanting to take your life, Kat. It feels really exciting. And at the same time, you're kind of like, well, it's exciting, but can I do this? Am I qualified enough? Or am I going to have enough money? Or, there might be some sticking point that's kind of keeping you maybe from taking the leap. Whatever this is, and if this is kind of something you're scratching your head, what is this? Could still be future energy. When I read timeline energy, recent, past, present, and very near future always feel very similar in energetically speaking. They feel very similar to me. So something that's happening in the near future could, someone well, that actually happened, 2 weeks ago. Feels very similar to me. So if this hasn't happened yet, or it's not on your radar, this opportunity, or you shifting your life from one direction to another, or just wanting to take on this new passion project, or Could be even a relationship or person, friendship. Could possibly be, this could be future energy. Let's see. Let's get further information for Kat on what this is. What is this? Star and Page of Wands talking about for Kat. Ooh, Two of Swords, but I'm shuffling in reverse, which I don't mean to do, but when I do it, it is relevant to the reading, so I always take it as a reversal. So when we're upright, it is, of course, about confusion, about feeling blind, feeling lost, feeling unsure what direction to go. And of course, we were kind of already tuning in that you're kind of at this new phase where you're wanting to take your direction or your life in a possible new direction for yourself. The fact it came out in reverse is it's more of an internal struggle than an external struggle. Meaning you may not have all these outside influences or like the outside factors making the choice for you, or it's just logical because XY equals Z plus 4.com. I don't know. But you are feeling more internally possibly conflicted. And it might even be because of your past, wounds or trauma that you've been through that you don't feel worthy of, or like it is going to be in your best interest because maybe it doesn't feel safe because it's new and exciting. But again, it would be probably maybe a bit of an internal struggle, but let's see how you're overcoming this internal struggle for making this decision that can change your life for the better. I'll put that upright because I feel like you're figuring something out. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. Because right now you might just energetically be kind of holding things close to the chest, or, okay, I don't need to make this decision right now, so I'll just kind of wait and see if I have a better idea tomorrow or the next day. And I'd say this is actually kind of a valid way to figure it out. I don't see that you're in any rush or that you have to make a choice tomorrow, like, that kind of, and this might be explicit, like gun to your head kind of energy. Like there's no high stakes of I don't see like a major ticking clock on whatever this choice is. It feels more like you making the choice will be the beginning or the full energy, the catalyst to start the path, rather than this being an opportunity that the clock is ticking down. If you don't make your decision by X date, then they're giving it to someone else. It does not feel like that to me. This more feels like once you come to your decision or save up money, possibly a potential of wanting to save money. If this has to do with possibly moving or going somewhere else, going on, traveling, a different experience, something like that, it could just be a matter of you wanting to save money to feel more comfortable that you're not going to be kind of stressing about, financial situation because you're spending all the money on one thing or another. Let's see anything else Kat needs to know about this, or anything else she needs to know. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, definitely an opportunity coming in. But again, slow moving energy as far as opportunity that's coming in. You don't have to make the decision overnight or anything. You can take your time. You really feel into it. You're the one kind of saying, yes, I'll do it. And then the opportunity comes. So if you don't feel prepared, you don't have to jump into anything. You can figure out what you're doing. So let's see. I feel like I want to go to this other tarot deck. So let's see anything else Kat needs to know. Yeah, there's definite possible travel, moving, maybe even getting a new vehicle or a vehicle if you don't have one. But Four of Cups, and I'm glad I switched to this tarot deck because the Four of Cups in any other tarot deck would give me a completely different vibe. Normally, in the traditional depiction of the Four of Cups, it's being offered, but the person can't see it because they're so hyper-focused on what's in front of them. But in this depiction, Kat, you're looking right at the opportunity. So it's not like this opportunity is going to pass you by if you don't do this or you do that or whatever. You're going to see the opportunity coming a mile away, and you're going to be able to make your choice in your time, not ticking clock, feeling stressed about it, and be able to move in the direction that feels best for you. And when you do make a major life-changing decision or choice, the Chariot will come out 9 times out of 10, if not every single time. And the fact that we were building our way up to the Chariot, and then we end with the Chariot, well, we're not quite done yet, but, the most recent one I drew was a Chariot. Lets us know you definitely are moving your life in a new direction. And I feel like there's success coming as a result of you shifting kind of gears, or even if you're relatively wanting to stay the same, it's like you're taking more ownership or more control or more responsibility over your just day-to-day activities, day-to-day schedule. Maybe even your hobbies are shifting, or you're just wanting to feel more fulfilled as a person just in your day-to-day life. If you have big plans to make changes, then of course that also still applies. Because, when we make changes, of course our day-to-day life is going to look a lot different. If we're we're changing our life. But yeah, you just may be walking away from some stuff that's just not it for you anymore. So with the Chariot energy, again, that could look like you moving. It doesn't mean that the people that you possibly now live with are toxic or anything like that. It's just you're ready to level up. You're ready for that next, whatever it is, if you are deciding to travel or move. With this combination, you might even be traveling back to a place that just felt really not great the last time you went, or you said, I'll never go there again. But this time you're going back for your healing if you are just traveling somewhere. If this is a travel trip to somewhere that you once went or it just didn't have a great vibe last time you were there, you're going more for your healing rather than, for like this really good, fun time. Not to say that you wouldn't have a good time. I think you would, but it's more like a healing trip. Or even if you're just taking a trip or even kind of like a day trip around your area just for your own personal healing. That could even look like going on a nature walk and just setting that intention to do some healing as you walk. It'd be very powerful for your own, next steps in life, just getting clarity. So we haven't used this deck yet tonight, Kat, but I feel like I want to use this for you. Turning into Kat's energy. Here it is. All right. Bravery is your baseline. Okay. So especially going back to the Two of Swords energy. Sometimes this can be wishy-washy, kind of lacking courage, just unsure. Well, this card, it's like you're finding your wings on the way down if you do take a leap of faith. But again, you don't have to find your wings on the way down. You can grow them before you leap because this is your timeline. This is your time frame. You don't have to force yourself on anyone else's ticking clock or anything. So whatever it is you want to create, even if you don't know what it is yet, you don't have to know right now. Just knowing that you want something better for yourself, if that's the case, is all you need as that kind of North Star or guiding light for you to get to your next step. And just setting that intention every day that you're ready for your next big glow up or level up or whatever that looks like for you. For you, though, what I'm really showing is this, or being shown, is like this sense of feeling really fulfilled in who you are as a person. Not so much what other people think or trying to prove anything to anyone else. It's about you. And not in a selfish way, just in a very authentic and self-governing kind of way. And we have the number 13 there, which is like that death card energy. And I did see that on the back of the deck as I was shuffling earlier. When I was like, it doesn't have to be a major life change. I did see the death card on the back. And that could indicate, yeah, it is a major life change. You can't go back to that old version of yourself, but that's a good thing. Especially now that we have the Emperor on the back of the deck. You're finding success in your own sovereignty. You're really, you're being the authority of your own life. You're being brave and making choices that are going to benefit you and, future of your family for the better. So there's a lot of really good stuff coming in here for you, Kat. So if you're kind of unsure what exactly this means right now, I would say over the next 3 months to 6 months, you're really going to get some clarity and just kind of know deep down what your next direction, your next steps are in life. So you won't feel so confused if that is kind of where you're at now or have been in the past of just, I could do this, but should I wait and save more money or should I do this? Or it's kind of, again, like that Two of Swords kind of wishy-washy, just kind of unsure energy. But you're stepping out of that into something much more sure, much more brave, much more just like, yeah, I got this. I might fumble and stumble along the way, but hey, I can heal as I go. I can make mistakes and learn things, and I don't have to be perfect before I start. That's the vibe that you're really giving off in this like next season of life for yourself, Kat, which is really beautiful. So you'll have to keep us posted as to what's going on for you. I know at least I am very excited for you with this star. I mean, look where we started the reading. Very potent, very powerful energy, very creative energy. So I love that. Woo! And Six of Wands is staring at me on the back of the deck. Victory! Especially after a long battle, you're finding some victory, some recognition. Both of these cards, Star and Six of Wands, deal with recognition and reward. So you deserve it. You earned it. It resonated. Thank you. Definitely seeing what I can do to make a change in my life. Thinking about my options. You always hit the nail on the head. Definitely trying to be more authentic. Girl, you got this. We are cheering you on. You will have to let us know how things go. I just got chills, so I'm really excited for you. I feel like you have a lot of support from the universe and, true spirit, true essence. None of these false light entities pretending to be anybody that they're not, but true spirit is on your side, Kat. So you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to walk it alone because there's so many other true spirits out there that are rooting for you for sure. All right. Big hugs to Kat. we wish you nothing but the best, but I don't think you need much luck because look, Queen of Pentacles, come on now. You're a self-starting, self-made woman right here, and you're gonna make something real big for yourself that feels really good and you feel really proud, whole and complete, and just really authentic. I love that for you so much. It's funny because people are like, oh, I love that for you. Like, oh, I don't want it, but that's great for you. Like, I don't mean it like that at all, Kat. This is so exciting. So exciting. Yes. Well, big hugs. You'll have to keep us posted. And look, I shuffled and she's still there. So yeah, you aren't going nowhere. Not like, you know, travel and all that wise, but like as far as your authenticity, your true spirit, you're just getting started. Look at that. Oh, it is warm in here. We'll put it that way. Woo! Hello, Priya. Welcome. Welcome, and it is the end. We have reached the end of our live stream. I don't think I have any other donations. I will just check, though, just to be sure. Yep, that is all she wrote tonight. So I will be back on Friday, and I plan to wear my tie-dye shirt. I know Jamie's probably not still here, but yeah, I'm making a plan. I'm making a plan to wear it so she can see it. Yeah, so I hope you all have a wonderful evening or morning or afternoon, whatever time it is where you are in the world. And thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and shares, and all the fun things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. All right, you guys, bye.